Hi, welcome to Room 9, our region's largest classroom. I'm Mrs. Williams. I teach first grade in the Windsor C1 School District. That's in Imperial, Missouri. This is
Mrs. Forth. Hi, everybody. I'm from the Rockwood School District. I'm excited to be here with you today as we learn a little bit about reading and math. So before we start, we really want to know,
where are you? Are you near the airport? Top Golf? Are you out at Six Flags?
That's where I live.
Yay! Are you near the Magic House? Closer to the zoo? Maybe you are close to the St. Louis Arch or the Mississippi River. That's where I'm at. I'm a little bit south of St. Louis in Herculaneum near the Mississippi River.
It looks like we have friends from all over St. Louis joining us today.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Very exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our welcome poem. I'm going to point to the words. Feel free to join along with me as I say them. Ready? Welcome, welcome, everyone. How are you today? We are so glad to be with you, learning math and reading too.
And speaking of how are you today, we need to do a zone check because before we get ready to learn, each day we check in on our body and brain. Really smart scientists that study brains know that happy, calm brains do the best learning. If you are in the green zone, that means that you are calm, you are happy, and you are ready to complete your work, help others, and reach your daily goals. And this is the hand signal. So if you are in green zone, show me you're green and good to go. If you are in the blue zone, you might be feeling a little slow and low today. You might need to draw a picture, get a hug, or think some happy thoughts to be ready to learn. Your hand signal will look like this. If you are in the yellow zone, you're maybe a little frustrated, anxious, or maybe just really excited in a good way, but not ready to learn yet. So you need to take some deep breaths, get a hug, or talk to an adult that can help you be ready. If you are in the red zone, you have flipped your lid. Your hand signal looks like this, and you're probably not learning with this right now. You're very angry or upset about something. You need to stop, get help from an adult, take some deep breaths, and check the size of your problem. So show me your hand signal. Are you green zone and good to go? I hope you are. If you are blue, yellow, or red, choose one of our strategies to help you get ready to learn.
Are you guys ready to get started today? All right, before we start, let's do our Room 9 chant. Can you read this along with us? Okay. I am smart. I am kind. I am brave. I am me. Welcome to the reading part of today. Today, I have a book that I can't wait to share with you. But before we read this book, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what readers do when they're reading books. Readers pay attention to characters. When we pay attention to the characters, we can make connections with how the characters are feeling. A connection is when you think about, that's happened to me too, or I felt that way before. Have you ever read a book and you had one of those moments when you're like, that reminds me of, yes, that's making a connection. It's important to make connections because it helps you better understand the story. So one way we make connections is thinking about the characters. So I have a chart here that I wanted to show you about making connections, okay? All right, so in this chart, we're gonna look at how we can better make connections with our characters. So one thing that we can do is think, how is the character feeling? When we ask ourselves how the character's feeling, there's some things that we can do. First, we can look at the picture. We can look at the character's face. When we look at the character's face, then we can make the same face ourselves. When we make that face, we can kind of start to feel like, oh, I remember when I've made a face like that. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're thinking, how does this character feel? And then finally, as you're reading, you can even make your voice match the character. So, surprised, like these faces, you are probably not going to sound like this. Oh, no. You'll be like, oh, no. Right? We are connecting to the character as we read the story. Remember that making connections helps us better understand the story. Are you ready to see what story I picked out for us today? Okay, so this story is called Madeline Finn and the Library Dog, written by Lisa Papp. You say thank you to Lisa Papp. We also want to say thank you to Peachtree Publishing for letting us read this book today. Thank you, Peachtree Publishing. So Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. As usual, I like to find out before I read a little bit about what this book might be about. So we've read the title. I'm looking at the cover and the picture, and I see there's a little girl. I'm thinking maybe she's Madeline Finn. And here's the library dog, and they're reading lots of books. Oh, I bet she just loves to read, right? And then on the back, there's a little bit, just a little bit. It says, this is Bonnie. She is a great listener. It's really all it is. So, Bonnie must be the dog, the library dog, and Madeline must really love this dog. Yeah. Do you have something in your life that you really love? Yeah, I have a dog and I love her. Her name is Bella. A stuffed animal. Yeah, there's so many things to love, isn't there? Well, let's figure out what happens in the story with Madeline Finn and the library dog. And as we read, we can also pay close attention to the pictures to better get to know the character and make some connections along the way. Madeline Finn and the library dog. Here we go. Oh, already I'm noticing something. Look at that face. Oh, and she's got her arms crossed. Can you do that? Can you cross your arms and make that face? How are you feeling right now making that face? Mad, grumpy, angry. Those are all great words to describe how she looks. Maybe she's not so happy after all, like I thought. I can't wait to find out what happens with Madeline. I do not like to read. Not books, not magazines, not even the menu on the ice cream truck. Ugh. We already figured out what she's grumpy about. She doesn't like to read. No, reading is amazing. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Finn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Have you ever eaten peanut butter before? I want you to practice what it would feel like to have a bunch of peanut butter in your mouth. Yeah, real sticky. That must be pretty tough to read when the words feel like you've just got peanut butter in your mouth. Sometimes people giggle when I make a mistake. Look at that face. Yeah, as I make it, I'm starting to feel a little sad. Now I understand why she doesn't like to read. It's not making her feel very good. Poor Madeline. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher, not even a smiley face. Instead, I get a heart that says, keep trying. She's still feeling sad, isn't she? I get a lot of keep trying stickers, but I want the star. Yeah, is anybody else feeling a little gloomy or sad right now? Me too. This book is making me feel a little bit depressed. I'm feeling so bad for Madeline. Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star Monday or Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher tells me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say the frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I try to get away with Sam, but it doesn't work. See what she did? Here's the frog's name, Samuel. And she took off the ending because she said, "Ooh, I can figure out the Sam part." But that wasn't the whole part, was it? Not the whole name. Friday is no better. Study the picture. Look at the character's face. You make that same face. Ooh, cross your arms too. Think. How does she feel? How is she feeling? Sad, upset, angry? On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. "Hello, Madeline Finn," Miss Dimple says. She's our library. Let's focus on a new character this time. Can you make your face match that character? She's smiling. Yeah, and then she says, "Hello, Madeline Finn." Can you guys say that like the librarian who's smiling would say it? Ready? "Hello, Madeline Finn." Good job making your voice match. She's our librarian. "I don't like to read," I remind her in case she forgot. Let's reread that, thinking about how Madeline feels now. Okay, make that face. Think, have I felt that before? Yeah, you felt upset? That makes me feel a little cranky. Now let's say "I don't like to read" in our best Madeline-like voice. Ready? "I don't like to read." Let me hear you. Oh yeah, you guys do sound upset. "I don't like to read," I remind her in case she forgot. "Oh, I remember," she says, "but today we have something special, something you might enjoy." Oh, look at that face. She doesn't quite look so angry, does she? Or sad, maybe a little surprised or shocked. "Madeline Finn, would you like to read to a dog?" Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. "This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She's a great listener." Bonnie is beautiful, like a big snowy polar bear. "Would you like to try?" Mom asks. "Yes, please," I say, but not very loud. So look at her face. Yeah, she looks really interested in this dog, doesn't she? And she says, "Yes, please," but not very loud. You want to practice it? Ready? Make your face look. "Yes, please," I say. Good reading, guys. At first, I'm nervous. I get the letters mixed up. The words don't sound right. But then I look at Bonnie, and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word. Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure it out. Remember when you were telling me things that you love very much and that might make you feel better, like a favorite stuffed animal or a pet or a parent or a friend? That's kind of what's happening here. Think about how you feel when that thing or a person makes you feel better. Can you feel what Bonnie's feeling right now? Yeah, you're connecting to the character. You're making a connection. After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like the sticker says. I still don't have a star, but I can be patient, like Bonnie. Soon it's almost time to read in class again, but when I go to the library, Bonnie's not there. Neither is Miss Dimple. "Would you like to wait for another dog?" the other librarian asks. "No, thank you," I say as politely as I can. "Don't worry," Mom tells me later. "Bonnie was just busy today." "But what about school?" I asked. "You'll do fine," she says. "Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie." On Friday morning, I'm very nervous. Madeline Finn, would you like to read next? The teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but still not very loud. The first sentences go pretty well. Then I mess up on a word, and then another. I hear someone giggle, but then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher and she has a big smile on her face. I did it, I got my star. On Saturday, we go to the library again. Mrs. Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Finn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you, too. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? That is a surprise. Bonnie wasn't there because she was busy having puppies. You guys did a great job of making connections as we read today. I can't wait to keep practicing this with you guys. Off you go to math.
Thanks, Mrs. Forth. That was a great story. All right, it's time for us to get our math brain moving. And before we start our lesson for each day, we do a little counting to warm up. Let's see how we're going to do our warm up today. Oh, it looks like we're going to run in place. So we're running in place all the way to 20. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, we're headed back now. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Walk it off, guys. All right, I feel like my body and brain are warmed up. Give me a thumbs up and a wiggle if yours are too. Great. So by the time we're done learning together today, you're going to be able to say, I can. You say it. Add within 10. You say it. Yeah, and we're going to use 10 frames to add today. So yesterday when we learned together, we learned how to make an addition sentence. So we kind of moved from number bonds, which were part, whole, into showing that part, whole in a number sentence. So when we use a number sentence to put two numbers together, we call that adding, or we say we're going to add the two numbers together. That means we're just going to take those two parts, put them together, and see what the whole number is. Now, when we do that, we use an addition or a plus sign. And it kind of looks like a lowercase t. We can make a pretty plus with our fingers if we want. And that just means that we're putting the two numbers together. The other special symbol that we used was an equal sign. And an equal sign is just two lines, and it means makes. So let's just say we were using our number sentence with our two numbers today. Now we have 5, and I have our 10 frame underneath. Our 10 frame shows the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. So it has the picture representation of our number 5. If we wanted to put 5 and 3 together to find the whole number, we need our plus sign. So get your pretty plus ready. Write your 5 plus 3. And we have our picture representation, or our 10 frame underneath, of 1, 2, 3. And do you remember what symbol comes next? Yep, it's that equal sign. So now we can use our 10 frame to add those together. Let's read our sentence. 5 plus 3 equals. And a 10 frame is kind of like those counters that we used yesterday, just in a picture form, so we're not moving them. So let's go ahead and grab our 10 frame and see what 5 and 3 makes, or equals. Whoops, got him a little bit crooked. There we go. All right, so first I need to put in my 5. Count with me. You do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3 more. So how many more dots do we need to put in our frame? 1, 2, 3. So now we can count those guys up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 plus 3 makes or equals 8. Does yours look like this? Great. Let's try another one. Thumbs up and a wiggle if you feel like 10 frames help your brain to add numbers together. Let's get this guy out of the way. Our next number sentence is 2 plus 4. Let's put our pretty plus in there. You write yours. What's the next symbol that we need? 2 plus 4. If you said equals, you are correct. I'll give you a second to solve that. I'm going to get my 10 frame ready. All right, what did you think? Let's make our 10 frame. If we had 2 and we add on 1, 2, 3, 4, how many do we have all together? Or what does that equal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you say 2 plus 4 equals 6? Good for you. All right, I want to show you something special about 10 frames. So in a 10 frame, each row is 5. So I could start my 10 frame by saying, I know that this row is 5 and only count on one more. So 5, 6. Do you see how that makes it quicker? That's a faster way to count on and get your answer. Let's go ahead and scoot this guy out of the way. This time, I'm going to read you the problem, and I want you to try and write it on your own. Don't worry, we'll practice it together too. Your next problem is 6 plus 0. This might be tricky. Did you write it? Does it look like this? 6 plus 0 equals? Good for you. Did you make a 10 frame, or do you just know 6 plus 0 because it's in the file folder in your brain? Let's check our 10 frame and see what happens. This one's pretty interesting. So we have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many more do we need to add on? That's right, 0, none. We're not counting on any. So if we started with 6 and added nothing on, what do we still have? It's 6. Did I trick you? I hope not, but that's okay even if I did. We're learning and growing our brains, and that's what it's all about. Let's go ahead and move our 10 frame out of the way, and I'll give you your next problem. 1 plus 9. While I'm setting up our next problem, you set up 1 plus 9. Does it look like this? 1 with your pretty plus and your 9. Did you remember your equal sign? All right. And what happened when you counted those up? Did you say 1 and then count on your 9 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guys, our 10 frame is full. We know that this row is 5 and this row is 5. We could count by 5s or we could count by 1s. Let's try it both ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or if we count by 5s, we could say 5, 10. Great job. All right, we've got time for one more quick problem. Your problem is 4 plus 5. You write it while I set it up. Did it look like this? Did you already start solving that problem? Well, you are so tricky. All right, so you put in your 4, 2, 3, 4, and added on 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many was it? Did you say 9? Great job. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Well, I am so impressed with all the learning you've done today. I want you to make sure that you take your Room 9 rules with you wherever you go today. Remember, Rule 1 is to be safe. Keep your hands, your feet, and things inside of your space bubble and make sure you're washing those hands. Rule number 2 is be responsible. Take care of yourself and your things and do your work. Help out around your house. Rule number 3 is be respectful. Use nice words in a nice voice no matter who you're talking to, and follow your adult and teacher's directions right away. Rule number 4, make yourself proud. Do those things that make you feel warm and happy inside. Do your best to make it a great day and grow your brain. Thanks for learning with us today, guys. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.